Welcome back to Sports Nation. We are going to do this show now, and we're doing it because Craig Sager was a badass.
Yeah.
And we can do it, and we're gonna. So here we go. Last night, fans in Memphis, I'm so sorry, but they were very, very disappointed because the Cavs chose to sit LeBron James, Kyrie Irving. Not just sit them, they didn't even make the trip, and Kevin Love. In fact, Cleveland lost this thing. They were down by 20 at one point. Here's Ty Lue responding to the criticism of sitting those dudes.
Guys send their guys out every night, you know, but when the Cavs do it, when LeBron does it, it's, you know, it's something different. So, I mean, but you know, I understand too because, you know, these people are waiting to see LeBron play. They wait for this moment, this opportunity, and, you know, when he doesn't play, the best player in the world doesn't play, you know, it's tough on the fans because, and it's close to Christmas, so a lot of it was Christmas presents and Christmas gifts. But, I mean, it wasn't nothing intentional. Like I said, it was just circumstance. And sorry to the fans that didn't get a chance to see him play. But, you know, when it is LeBron sitting out, it is a bigger deal.
There were some posters. People were not happy, Max. Is that a big problem?
Yes, but I don't know how you legislated that out of the game. I mean, you're asking players and coaches in the middle of a season to put their business hats on and make business interests, you know, put them ahead of competitive interests. This was smart of the Cavs to do. It was smart to rest their guys. It was smart to do it on the road. You're serving the Cleveland fans. And even if you're Memphis, if you root for the Memphis Grizzlies, you didn't have to face LeBron. You got to win the game. I mean, you're heading for the playoffs. You'd like to win that game, right? The only people who really get the short end here are the LeBron fans in the Memphis area. But, you know, of everyone who could suffer, I guess, you know, sorry, guys, it's you.
Yeah, you imagine that, tracking the Memphis fans that's actually really rooting for LeBron.
There were a couple.
Yeah, that's
they
interesting.
Were there.
But I just want to speak to the fans, and I'm like, can you guys read? Y'all dumb. The team on the ticket, it doesn't say the Cleveland LeBrons. It says the Cleveland Cavaliers. But guess what? When you go there, the Cavaliers have reasons why they can rest players. It could be because of injury, because of fatigue, or the best reason of all, because I want to. And that's the answer right there. So the NBA is laughing. They're not incentivized to change.
In fairness, like I don't want to be piling on the Cavs because LaMarcus Aldridge sat out last night, although the Spurs did win. And Boogie Cousins sat out.
Yeah, right. Finally, they win a game.
Contractually, I'm obligated to update you on what the Spurs did last night. And Boogie Cousins sat, and then his team lost. So it was, you know, I just want to point out the Spurs won by resting players. That's all I was doing.
Spoiled.
I get why fans would be disappointed. The only thing I have to issue with Tyronn Lue is the fact that he said it wasn't done intentionally. It wasn't an accidental sitting. They didn't even make the trip. So you intentionally sat them on that day. You always go to Christmas.
The CD is coach's decision.
So that was kind of.
He was in auto speak, though. He was just in auto speak. Pull the string. Oh, I got to say this. If
they just accidentally were left back in Cleveland and didn't play. It wasn't intentional.
Where's my LeBron? I left him back in Cleveland. I thought I took him with me.
Sorry, some of that was a Christmas present to people. I was like, oh, you don't have to add that. That actually hurts more. It's like a reminder that was my only Christmas present. By the way, Max is here.
Yay!
Speaking of
give a damn. You should bench him. Wish he didn't play today.
All right, so this was a game that not a lot of people probably cared about. However, Larry Nance Jr. delivered that on one Brook Lopez, and people lost their minds. On the court, in the stands, in your couch, everywhere. Larry Nance, his face is fantastic. Media went crazy. By the way, immediately, Damian Lillard called it the dunk of the year.
Okay, Dollar.
The always funny Shea Serrano tweeted.
And he touched the rim, Max. He hit the rim with that.
Yeah, that's a Blake Griffin dunk, except he dunked it.
He dunked it. He actually put it
hilarious.
through the basket.
Robin Lopez. Is it? Okay, it's we're only what? 20-something games in, 25?
Yeah.
Dunk of the year?
Yeah, of course. Name another dunk this year. That's the best one.
Does Blake Griffin still play basketball?
That's the best
Does Zach LaVine still play basketball? Do you watch every single game?
And to make a real sports point, by the way, to make a real sports point, I'm not sure if that's good or bad for Larry Nance if he's just like becomes known as a dunker because he's one of the most important pieces on that young Lakers team. He does all the dirty work.
Yeah, that's true. But you both are wrong. It's not the dunk of the year. It's number 2. But the dunk of the year still belongs to one Russell Westbrook against the Houston Rockets, and this is why. This is why. There are 3 criteria to be the dunk of the year. Number 1, excitement level. Number 2, impact on the game. And number 3, who you dunk on and where.
About the impact on the game.
Impact on the game. That was a game-sealing dunk. That's the reason why that is dunk of the year.
That's such a nerd point, though. That is such a nerd point.
Larry Nance was in the 3rd quarter of a game they lost by 10. That dunk sealed a win. That's why it's
Did your eyeballs see that Larry Nance dunk? You're supposed to look forward. Let's see, LZ, there you go.
Max,
Did you see the dunk?
It wasn't nice. I didn't
No, we
say
have to
it wasn't
pretend we're
nice.
not looking at
You
each
said
other.
Dunk
Okay,
of
now
the
we
year.
can.
You said dunk of the year.
Yes.
You said dunk of the year.
Yes.
I said it was really, really nice. It was really nice.
It was a better dunk, LZ.
But no.
It was a better dunk. The
6'3",
context wasn't greater,
6'3".
but it was a better dunk.
Russell Westbrook is 6'3".
Just watch. Let's
Look
take it
at
again.
foul.
Just take it all in.
What are you, scientifically breaking this
What did he
down?
dunk on? He dunked on Brooke Lopez.
Yeah.
Yes, Brooke
A
Lopez.
7-footer.
No, it's Brooke Lopez.
It's Brooke
It's
Lopez.
still
He's a
8-7-footer.
5'10" 7-footer. That dude ain't got
What are you
no
in a
height.
chat room somewhere?
No, I'm
Stop
just
breaking
telling
this
you.
down scientifically. Did you see that dunk?
Which team gives it the most points in the NBA? Those Brooklyn Nets. Everybody's dunking on them like that. You know why? Because no one's afraid of Brooke Lopez in the middle.
LZ.
Wait, can I
That's
ask
the
you
reason
this?
why
LZ, what
it's
dunk
number
looked better?
two.
What dunk looked better?
Russell Westbrook.
No, you're being contrarian.
Left hand.
Now you just arguing.
You just forgot.
I was
You
arguing
just
the
had
same argument.
forgotten. You weren't even thinking he was
Did
going to
Russell
dunk
Westbrook
it.
apologize? Because Nance apologized. Nance apologized.
Drop the
to Brooke
mic!
Lopez. At least it seemed like he did. And I
Beats
don't
dropped
know
the
when
mic.
I saw this last.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man. I'm so
That
sorry.
makes it worse.
Yeah, your life is ruined. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you
See,
forever.
this is exactly why Coach Walton called his team
That's the
soft
best
at the end of the game. Because of stuff like that. You don't apologize if you kill somebody. You just say, and you rest in peace. That's what happened. You rest in
No,
peace.
that's
No. You
not
actually
good.
do apologize.
No.
We do it all the time. Look, it's not usually after such a big highlight, but when you get the result you want, but it's at the expense of him, you do come back to him and say, my bad, big dog. I had to do it to you. That's what this is. He's like, I had to do it to you. I'm sorry for you.
LZ, we're
but I had
sorry.
to do it to you.
We are sorry on this one.
As the only person who can still touch the rim, I would take the.
Oh,
Still?
Yes,
Oh,
that's right.
hold
I
on.
said it.
Still?
touch the rim.
What? 39
I would
and a half
say-
inch vert. Combines, baby. You roast.
What are
Combine.
combines?
What are you, Al Bundy?
Ah, what's
Okay,
that?
let's.
Like 40 years ago.
Before you break an ankle, let's do some football.
Got it, dog.
Got nothing.
You must have left it.
Steelers face the Bengals. Now remember.
I'd like to touch the rim one time in my life.
Le'Veon Bell's faced Cincinnati. He did
Work on
suffer
the net.
season-ending knee injuries. Last year's injury came courtesy of one Vontaze Burfict and as viewed by many Steelers as a very dirty play. But Bell has said the following: I'm pretty sure they're going to do whatever they got to try to get me off the field. I'm obviously not going to let it happen a third time. I'm going to be prepared for everything. Why even put this juju in the universe, Marcellus?
Juju on the beat.
Like, why are you doing that?
Why are you doing this? Because one, you're trying to use the reverse psychology and say, okay, you're in my head, but now I'm going to use you in my head as inspiration to bring it back to you. What he's talking about is being alert versus full alertness. And there's a difference. I think most people out there know when you're reversing a car. There's one thing to go in reverse, and there's another thing to turn the radio off and then go in reverse because you got to focus on it. That's the moment right
Turn
now.
the radio off. Are you distracted by the radio?
Radio's what's doing
Y'all
it?
don't watch Kings of Comedy? All right, we'll leave it
No,
alone.
it is a thing we do, though.
Yeah, you
You're
got
right.
to turn the music down when you start to go back. This is what he's saying. All of that stuff, when I run out of bounds, when I get back up, when I stiff arm you, I am paying attention to every moment because I don't want that same result.
Looks like he's just saying they're dirty.
No.
Well, but
No,
that's
that's what it
yeah,
feels
they
like.
did
They
say
are.
that.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's not saying it dirty. He's saying,
don't think he's
I got to
saying off the
protect
field?
myself.
No, you know what he's
at
saying?
all
He's saying like what Tom Coughlin said, like injury is a state of mind, right? Like staying healthy is a state, but it's not. It's a state of your body, actually. And I don't know how I don't care how determined you are to not get hurt. You know, if the impact is such that you are hurt, there's nothing your mind can do about it. Something's going to break.
I just wouldn't
I was
have
going to
mentioned
get
it.
hurt against the Lions, but nah, I'm not going to get hurt against that team.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put it out there.
You wouldn't put it
I
out
wouldn't
there?
have even I wouldn't have made the words happen.
Why?
Just putting the
What are
energy
you
out
believing
there.
in, like voodoo or jinx? Like if I say it, it's
Probably.
going to come to fruition? That's not how it works in the NFL.
That's exactly how it works.
No, it's not.
Who amongst the both of us knows? I think I know how the NFL
Yeah,
works.
from the couch,
Thank
it
you very
certainly
much.
seems that it works that way.
Yes.
Oh, don't say it.
Straight Whoopi Goldberg. Until you do right by me.
Don't say it out loud.
You know my Kings of Comedy reference.
We
I ain't
will
talking to
be
y'all.
right back after the break. Also, when you're looking at an address, you turn the volume
Turn
on.
them all you can.
Welcome to Sports Nation. Today we were expecting to do a fun show for you, but that's not possible because as we were getting ready to come out here, we learned the news that Craig Sager has died at the age of 65. We all knew it was coming, but that doesn't make today any easier to deal with. Y'all go. Sorry.
Much respect to Craig Sager. I think everyone here obviously has had some encounter with him, some more intimate than others. But the celebration of life is a moment that is hard to come to terms with when you're going through a loss like this. I had to go through this 2005 when I lost my mother to cancer. It wasn't a long battle, and it makes it no easier whether it's long or short. That loss, that moment when you realize that life will go forward without someone you love so dearly. And his impact is global in terms of his heart, his energy, his dedication to his craft, to his job, to his family. He was able to do all those things despite going through, obviously, dire times. Just respect to him and his family, and everyone's affected by this.
I noticed that when we got the news, I thought I was coming on today. We're going to have a good time and
By the way,
like old
Nance is
times.
here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a thing.
When the news broke, I think that a testament, a tribute to Craig Sager is that everyone was like, "Wow, that really sucks." I mean, everyone was universally. You never heard a bad word said about him in the industry. But if you wanted to know, and if you want to know who knew him personally, and I did not. Just look at who's weeping today, because everyone in this building who knew him personally is weeping right now.
Yeah. I think what was amazing about Craig was he was dealing with what is the absolute worst thing that a human has to deal with in cancer. And through all of it, he worked. He loved his work. You couldn't wipe that smile off of his face. His family is amazing. They've been through so much. I hope today they can at least find peace and that he is out of pain. I'm not a person who finds inspiration in a lot. I'm not a religious person. I don't do all that. But for me, Craig was that.
Well, absolutely. I mean, regardless of the profession that you're in, how could you not love the joy he had for his job?
Right.
He's the reason why I really fell in love with ball, because he loved ball so much. And when I lived in Atlanta and I worked for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, I would run into him all over Atlanta and just pick his brain. Like, what are you doing? What are you wearing? Where are you getting these clothes from? And he was always with such joy and such a wonderful smile on his face. And you talked about losing your mother to cancer in 2005. I lost one of my mentors in Gwen Eiffel, also of cancer, not too long ago. I was attending her funeral. And much like Craig Sager, she worked until the end, covered the campaign, covered the elections, all the way to the end because she loved her job so much. So when I think about Craig, when I think about Gwen, when I think about all the average Americans that we don't know the names of who continue on and face this awful disease and overcome through the human spirit, I, like you, draw such inspiration.
You know, the thing about Craig that always struck me, watching him from afar, watching him on TV like everyone else, is not only that he loved his job, but I got the feeling that no matter what kind of job he had, and no matter how sick he was, that guy was coming to work and punching that clock every day because he had that level of professionalism and felt that level of responsibility to his job and to his craft. And he's absolutely an inspiration today.
I love people who you just look at them and they're happy, and that makes you happy. And not everybody that does this for a living has that, but he had it in spades. And so you couldn't help. I mean, I don't even care if you didn't like basketball or you didn't know what was going on or who the people were. But if you flip on the TV and he's there, you just were happier as a result.
His most unique quality, I think what really crossed over, let's talk about the athlete experience, why so many athletes loved him, was one, you could see the sense of ownership of his own personality, staying within his own skin and saying, I will be daring enough to wear this and be professional in doing so. And guys used to sit there and marvel at, yeah, you can look any way you want to as long as you get the job done. And think about it. It really embodies my favorite quote, life is a competition between you and yourself. He won. Like, he won that battle that we all face. I'm too self-conscious to do this. I'm too self-conscious to say that. He was able to be daring enough to own every single thing he did. And that's why I think he transcended everyone.
I'm glad we got to see him at the ESPYs. I feel fortunate that I got to interview him and his family at the ESPYs. It was great to see them all together and happy on a day that we were all joining together to celebrate him. And you're right. I mean, I don't know a single person who's ever had a negative thing to say about him. And we are talking nice people, jerks, everybody. Nobody has a negative thing to say.
Which would be strange, except the closer people got to him, the stronger that good feeling was.
Yeah, it was so absolutely genuine, and I was so glad that he had an opportunity to cover an NBA Finals game, because he had covered the league for so long, and I didn't know he had never covered a finals. I just assumed he had, so I'm glad he got that opportunity.
Well, I will say this. First, we didn't want to do the show because everyone's just extremely sad today, but then we realized that would be the ultimate disservice because he did the job up until the very last minute. So Craig Sager approached every single day with all the passion. He loved life. On this day, we want to celebrate his life. Here's a look at the incredible life of Craig Sager.
Jason Powell from the Clippers meeting with the coaching staff to discuss Chris Paul, but still no Derrick Rose, at least for tonight. The Indianapolis 500 and the Eastern Conference Finals in the same city on the same day. Well, Doc, after a long
he became famous for a career standing on the sidelines. Yet Craig Sager was always very much in the middle of things.
It's 7:15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
That's 22-year-old Sager, getting the first interview with new home run king Hank Aaron at home plate seconds after number 715. He's the one in plain white. The Technicolor clothes didn't catch anybody's eye until later, until after he wore the Wiley Wildcat costume at his alma mater Northwestern. After he slept in a stall with Triple Crown winner Seattle Slew at the Belmont. After he joined a fledgling cable news network in its first year. Between CNN, then TBS, TNT, and others, Sager covered college football, the World Series, World Cup soccer, even Olympic curling. But it's the NBA that always seemed to suit the man best.
It's a nice suit you got on there. Easter passed, though. Easter already went by.
All right, thanks a lot.
His sartorial splendor matched perfectly with the league.
You know, I didn't recognize you right away. I thought you were the good humor ice cream man at first, standing over here on the sideline.
Recognizability mixed with constant good-natured ribbing.
You take this and you burn it.
There's not any part I can keep?
No, nothing. So when you get done with this, you should be butt naked.
Ironically, Sager's suits only clashed with his straightforward interview style. And with Spurs coach Greg Popovich as his foil, the between quarters Q&A became first-rate TV.
How can you be that professional in a suit that looks like that?
What was the key?
I think they were looking at your suit.
We got to do this in the preseason? Are you kidding me?
Part of the
In
contract.
the preseason, we got to do this?
Short answers,
No.
long on respect. As Sager battled leukemia, Pop was among the most poignant voices.
You did a great job, but I'd rather have your dad standing here. That's Craig, we miss you. You've been an important part of all this for a long time, doing a great job. We want your Fanny back on the court, and I promise I'll be nice. Get back here.
Well, yes and no.
I got to honestly tell you, this is the first time I've enjoyed doing this ridiculous interview we're required to do. And it's because you're here and you're back with us. Welcome back, baby.
Well, it's not going to survive. I lay in the hospital for months hoping to do this again.
Now ask me a couple of inane questions.
The question Sager never asked, why me? He fought his disease with an attitude positively plaid and paisley, pastel and polka dot.
The recipient of the Jimmy V Award for Perseverance, Craig Sager.
Whatever I might have imagined a terminal diagnosis would do to my spirit, it summoned quite the opposite. The greatest appreciation for life itself.
Sager's impassioned ESPY speech came shortly after he worked, remarkably, his first ever NBA Finals game.
How in the hell you go 30-plus years without getting a finals game? That don't make no sense. But I'm happy to see you, man. Much love and respect.
The finals both new and familiar. Sager with his guys, who were always there for him.
So you're an inspiration for us to just keep doing what we're doing, keep fighting, and that's the mentality we have, and it's kind of contagious, so thank you.
Craig Sager, the low-volume pro in the loud clothes, part of the fabric of the NBA, dead at the age of 65. A day for silent sidelines.